Welcome to Small Stories, Big Healing, where old teachings speak softly into modern lives.
When you cannot start, even though you want to, what is it that truly stops you? Is it laziness? Or is it fear wearing a quiet mask? Once upon a time,
in a town where mornings smelled of rain and warm bread, there lived a young man named Eli. Eli had good hands and a good heart. He was the kind of person who would help a neighbor carry water without being asked. He had dreams, too, bright and honest dreams. He wanted to open a small workshop where he could make simple wooden tools, shelves, and toys that would last for generations. But there was one trouble that followed Eli like a shadow at noon. He delayed.
he delayed in small ways at first. A letter he meant to write became a letter he would write tomorrow. A shelf he meant to build became a shelf he would build next week. A plan he meant to begin became a plan he would begin when the time felt right. And because of that, his days filled with many beginnings, but very few finishes. Each night, Eli lay on his bed and stared at the ceiling, speaking softly to himself. "Tomorrow," he promised. "Tomorrow I will start." But tomorrow arrived like a gentle knock that he never answered. Weeks passed, then months. His dream did not die loudly. It simply grew quieter, like a lamp slowly running out of oil. One morning, Eli walked to the river outside town. He told himself he went there for fresh air, but the truth was this. He went there to escape the feeling in his chest, the heavy feeling of knowing he was wasting his own life. At the riverbank sat an old woman named Mara. Everyone in town knew Mara. She was not famous, and she was not rich, yet people often left her presence feeling lighter. Mara was mending a fishing net with calm hands. Her needle moved slowly, patiently, as if time itself was not an enemy. Eli tried to walk past her, but Mara spoke without looking up. "You carry a war inside you," she said. Eli stopped. "A war?" he repeated, almost embarrassed. Mara finally lifted her eyes. They were gentle but clear. "Yes," she said, "a war between the life you want and the comfort that keeps you small." Eli swallowed. "I just can't seem to begin," he admitted. "I think about what I should do, and then I feel tired before I even start. I tell myself I'll do it later, and later becomes everything." Mara nodded as if she heard this many times. "Come," she said. "Walk with me." They followed the river path until they reached a narrow bridge made of old stone. Under the bridge, the river flowed steadily, not rushing, not stopping. Mara pointed to the water. "Do you see how the river moves?" she asked, "even when it is calm?" Eli watched the surface. It was smooth in places, rippled in others, always moving. "Yes," he said. Mara reached into her bag and pulled out something small. A tiny wooden wheel, no bigger than Eli's palm. "This is from an old watermill," she said. "It once turned every day, and it helped grind grain for the whole village." She placed the wheel into Eli's hands. It stopped turning. Mara continued, "Not because the river stopped. The river never stopped. It stopped because silt gathered, little by little, day by day, until the wheel could no longer move." Eli ran his thumb along the wheel. He could feel the dried mud in its grooves. Mara leaned closer. "Procrastination is not one big stone," she said. "It is silt, tiny delays, tiny excuses, tiny comforts. They gather quietly until your life cannot turn. Eli's throat tightened. "But why do I do it?" he asked. "Why do I wait, even when it hurts?" Mara looked at him with a soft understanding. "Because beginning is honest," she said. "When you begin, you must face what is real, your skill, your fear, your imperfection. But when you delay, you can pretend. You can keep your dream perfect in your mind, where it cannot be judged." Eli looked away. That was true. In his thoughts, his workshop was flawless. His work was beautiful. People admired him. Nothing went wrong. But real life could be messy. Real life could reveal his weakness. Mara stood and began walking again. "Come," she said, "I will show you something." They walked to Mara's small home, tucked beneath a willow tree. Inside, it was simple: a kettle, a table, a few bowls, and a shelf of worn tools. Mara went to the corner and pulled out a large jar. The jar was clear glass, and it was filled with muddy water. She placed it in front of Eli. "Shake it," she said. Eli hesitated, then shook the jar. The water turned darker. The mud swirled wildly, filling every space. Mara asked, "Now tell me, can you see through it?" "No," Eli said. "It's cloudy." Mara nodded. "This is your mind when you try to start everything at once," she said. "You shake yourself with plans, goals, and pressure. You swirl up fear, doubt, and overwhelm. Then you say, 'I cannot begin,' because you cannot see clearly." Eli stared at the spinning mud. Mara placed her hand over the jar, stopping it from moving. "Now," she said, "set it down." Eli set the jar on the table. They waited. At first, nothing changed. The water still looked murky. But after a little while, the mud began to sink. Slowly, quietly, patiently. And the water became clearer. Mara spoke in a low, steady voice. "Clarity does not come from forcing your life," she said. "It comes from settling, from doing one small thing without shaking your whole soul." Eli listened, his chest loosening just a little. Mara then took a small bowl and placed it beside the jar. "Here is how you win the war," she said. "Not with a heroic battle, but with a humble practice." She picked up a small stone and placed it in the bowl. "This stone," she said, "is one small action, one simple start." Eli looked at the stone. It seemed too small to matter. Mara smiled, as if she read his thoughts. "You think small actions are meaningless," she said. "But small actions are how rivers carve valleys. Small actions are how mountains become paths." Mara slid the bowl closer to Eli. "Tomorrow morning," she said, "before you touch your phone, before you speak to anyone, you will place one stone in this bowl." Eli frowned slightly. "One stone?" "Yes," Mara said. "One action that takes less than 5 minutes." Eli opened his mouth to protest, but Mara raised her hand. "Do not choose an action that proves you are great," she said. "Choose an action that proves you are faithful." Eli felt something in him shift. "Like what?" he asked. Mara spoke gently. "If you want a workshop, then for 5 minutes you will sharpen one tool. If you want to write, then for 5 minutes you will write one paragraph. If you want to study, then for 5 minutes you will read one page. If you want to clean your home, then for 5 minutes you will clear one corner." Eli stared at the bowl. "That's too easy," he said. Mara nodded. "Yes," she said, "and that is why it works." Eli gave a small, uncertain laugh. "But what if I stop after 5 minutes?" he asked. Mara's eyes softened. "Then you have still won." she said. Because procrastination is not defeated by doing everything, it is defeated by beginning. Eli looked down at his hands. "You're saying the goal is not finishing," he murmured. "It's starting." Mara leaned forward. "The goal is becoming the kind of person who starts," she said. "Finishing will come as a result of that." Eli sat quietly. He could feel years of delay pressing against his ribs. "But I've wasted so much time," he whispered. Mara reached across the table and tapped the side of the bowl. "Listen," she said. "The past is a road behind you. You can visit it for lessons, but you cannot live there." Eli's eyes grew moist. Mara continued, "Today is the only doorway that opens. Step through it." Eli breathed in slowly. That evening, he walked home with the small wooden wheel in his pocket and Mara's empty bowl in his hands. The next morning, Eli woke before the town stirred. His hand reached out, as it always did, toward the place where his phone usually rested. He paused. His heart beat faster, as if a small test had arrived. He remembered Mara's words. "Do not choose an action that proves you are great. Choose an action that proves you are faithful." Eli sat up. He walked to his tools. He chose the dullest chisel, the one he had ignored for months. He sharpened it. Just 5 minutes. When the time was up, he stopped. He placed a small stone in the bowl, and something strange happened. He did not feel triumphant. He did not feel like a hero. He felt calm. Later that day, he sharpened another tool, not because he forced himself, but because starting no longer felt like lifting a mountain. It felt like turning a wheel. Day after day, Eli placed a stone in the bowl. Some days, that was all he did. Other days, 5 minutes became 20. 20 became an hour. And an hour became the kind of work that changes a life. Weeks passed, then months, and one morning the town saw a small sign placed above a modest wooden doorway. It read, "Eli's Workshop." People came in curious. They found shelves that were sturdy, toys that were smooth, and tools that fit perfectly in the hand. Eli stood behind the counter, not as a man who had never procrastinated, but as a man who had finally learned how to begin. One afternoon, Mara visited the workshop. She didn't say much. She simply looked at the bowl on Eli's shelf. It was filled with stones. Eli smiled, a quiet, grateful smile. "I didn't win with strength," he told her. "I won with small starts." Mara nodded. "Yes," she said. "That is how all true wars are won." And now, listen closely, because here is the lesson I wanted to teach. Procrastination is not a sign that you are broken. It is often a sign that you are afraid. Afraid to fail. Afraid to be judged. Afraid to discover you are not yet who you want to be. But you do not need to defeat your fear all at once. You only need to stop feeding it with delay. Win the war with one small action, one stone in the bowl, one turn of the wheel, one gentle beginning. Because the life you want is not built in a single day. It is built in the daily choice to start, even while you tremble. So if you have been waiting for motivation, hear this. Motivation often arrives after you begin, not before. If you have been waiting for the perfect time, hear this. The perfect time is a myth that procrastination tells you to keep you comfortable. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can for 5 minutes, and let those 5 minutes become your new identity. If you learned something today, or if Eli's journey brought you even a small sense of calm, I invite you to stay connected with us. This is Small Stories, Big Healing. Short tales to soothe your heart and guide your steps. If this story should reach more people who are struggling with procrastination, please don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who might need this reminder, and comment below, what does procrastination mean to you? Your one comment may encourage someone else who feels stuck tonight. And if you'd like more stories that bring gentle comfort and insight, please subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss the next healing tale. Until then, place one small stone in your bowl today and let your future thank you for it. Small Stories, Big Healing will be here with another tale whenever your heart needs a gentle reminder.